Sears. I'm the Pro Bono Programs Coordinator at the New York County Lawyers Association, or NYCLA. And I'm just here to present on our programs. We have been partnering with IDG for a few years now on one of our programs, the Legal Counseling Project, which I'll go into more detail about in a second. But also came here just to go over all of our programs in case you have legal needs outside of the direct partnership that we have with IDG. All of our programs provide free legal services. And so you certainly can contact us if you have legal needs, or if people that have these legal needs and can't afford an attorney or aren't sure about what best options to pursue. That's what I'm going to be talking about over the next 10 minutes or so. So next slide, thanks. Just first to tell you briefly about who we are at NYCLA. We're a nonprofit bar association with voluntary membership for attorneys. The organization is over 100 years old and was one of the first major bar associations to admit lawyers regardless of race or gender. And it has always been a very mission-driven organization that includes providing these free legal services to New Yorkers through our pro bono programs. So just a brief overview of our programs, and then I'll get into some more detail. They provide services that range from limited scope legal advice to full scope representation, and they address a range of civil legal issues. All of our programs are for civil law. We do not have any programs for criminal cases. The majority of our programs provide service remotely, so they can help people with legal issues anywhere in New York. That includes if you have a legal issue based in New York, but you live in New Jersey, for example, we can still, in some cases, provide assistance depending on the nature of the legal issue. If your legal issue is not in New York, then we wouldn't be able to cover it because the laws vary state to state, but we do provide remote services, so you don't need to be based in Manhattan. Most of our programs cover anywhere in the state. Then we also have some programs that I'll talk about that help specifically in certain courts. And then some legal issues that our programs cover. The two that we partner with IDG on are family law and landlord-tenant law. We also cover employment law, re-entry help for people with criminal convictions, tax law, help with consumer debt issues, credit card debt cases, and help with issues regarding social services and Social Security disability benefits. So our first program that I'll go over is the one that we have a specific partnership with IDG on. Basically, we partner with them on the Legal Counseling Project to make it easier for IDG members to access this service. There's an intake form posted directly on the IDG Legal site where you can submit an intake form for either family law or landlord-tenant law. Directly through IDG, that comes to us, and then we set you up with these services, and you're kind of like at the head of the line to receive these services because of that partnership with IDG as well. Thanks for putting the link in the chat, Megan. So this program provides legal advice over the phone. So we partner with IDG. Specifically, there's a form for family law and landlord-tenant law. The program also gives advice about employment law and tax law matters, like issues with the IRS. For family law and landlord-tenant law, since those are the areas of focus for the partnership we have with IDG, that would include things like divorce, custody, child support, and then on the landlord-tenant side, evictions, rent disputes, and questions about your rights as a tenant in New York. That would also include if you happen to be a landlord and rent out an apartment or a room, we can help with those types of questions as well. For employment law, I know that you're here because you are, Uber and Lyft drivers. Our program for employment law, we mostly cover things like wrongful termination, workplace harassment, and questions about wages and salary. We don't specialize in, the type of employment that is set up with Uber and Lyft. So IDG might be especially, well equipped to help you with those direct issues. But we do have this program that can give legal advice about employment law as well, and you can certainly contact us about that also. And then tax law is a recent addition to the program. Basically, if you have a case with like the IRS, we can give advice about that as well. This would not be help preparing taxes or filing taxes, but more about legal disputes with the IRS. These consults happen over the phone. You would have a chance to speak with an attorney. Like all of our programs, it's totally free. And they can also review documents, although this program does not provide full representation. They can't go to court with you or like file documents on your behalf, but they can review documents, explain them to you, and give you legal advice over the phone. Okay. Next, we have our reentry initiative. This is a set of programs that provides civil legal help to people who have criminal convictions in the past. So it doesn't help with current criminal cases, but if you have a conviction, there are often a lot of barriers to employment, housing, various obstacles that conviction can pose unfairly to you, even after you complete the sentence, even if the conviction is old. So we provide civil legal help with determining what you're eligible for, like if you can get a conviction sealed off your record, or if you can apply for certain types of certificates in New York that can help give you better access to employment opportunities, housing, like subsidized housing, things like that. That's, again, starts out with a consult where you would speak with a lawyer to sort of go over the details of your situation. And then this program also provides ongoing legal help with applications for example, sealing a conviction or applying for one of these certificates. A lawyer can continue to help you with that application process if you're eligible. Next, we have a program, the State Central Registry Project. This is one of our programs that provides full legal representation through a court case. This provides representation to people who have been wrongfully or unfairly reported to the State Central Register of Child Abuse and Maltreatment, which is known as the SCR. These reports can often be made unfairly or wrongfully. People can be anonymously reported. They often are disproportionately made against poor people and people of color, and can really be barriers for getting jobs, for being able to care for your children, and things like that. So if you have a report that is made on the SCR, you're allowed to challenge it, to appeal the report. And our program helps with those appeals to either get those reports amended or sealed so that they no longer are an obstacle in your life. Next slide.
That's it? Or
oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so next is the Social Security SDNY project. This program also provides full representation to people with disabilities where their Social Security disability benefits were denied and they are appealing that denial. Our program specifically helps at the stage where the appeal has reached federal court in the U.S. District Court in the Southern District of New York, and we provide free lawyers for those cases. And this is very significant because obviously people who are relying on disability benefits are not in a position where they can pay for an attorney, and they're going up against the US government, the Social Security Administration, who can definitely afford attorneys. So providing this free legal help is, really significant for these cases when people's disability benefits are denied. Okay, next. Thanks. Next, we have some consumer debt programs, the Volunteer Lawyer for the Day program and Claro. These programs are some that help specifically in the New York County Civil Court, and they help people who have been sued for a credit card debt by a bank, collection agency, where they're claiming that you owe a debt and they've taken you to court. This program provides, has lawyers in person in the courtroom to provide assistance when people go for those appearances for these cases, to help them either dispute the debt or settle it for a lower amount or otherwise resolve the case in a favorable way. If there's a credit card debt case against you. Then we have our tax court project, which is similar. It also helps in a specific court, this time in the US tax court. As I mentioned earlier, our legal counseling project also gives legal advice over the phone about these tax law cases, so cases against the IRS. And then this program has lawyers again present in the courtroom to help people to give advice, review documents, and to mediate with the IRS attorneys to resolve people's cases. Next, we have a Veterans Discharge Upgrade Project. This program helps veterans who were discharged with a less than honorable discharge status from the military. Having these less than honorable statuses can carry a lot of stigma, as well as prevent people from accessing necessary benefits from the government. And often they can be unfairly given because of issues like PTSD, mental illness, where someone will have a less than honorable discharge status, but there are these extenuating circumstances. So this program provides free legal help to veterans to apply for an upgrade in that status and throughout the court case in front of the discharge review board with Veteran Affairs. So yeah. And then last but not least, we have a new program that started last year, the Civil Appeals Project. This program provides full representation about certain civil appeals. So specifically, this program helps in the appellate division in the First Judicial Department, and it covers appeals of family law decisions. So after a case has gone through family court, like a custody case, child support, divorce, matrimonial case, and then if someone wants to appeal that case, this program can help with those. And it also helps with appeals of Article 78 decisions related to state or local agencies, which can get a bit complicated because that covers a lot of different types of issues. But one example would be if someone has a dispute with NYCLA, the New York City Housing Authority that runs public housing. If they have a case against NYCLA, they would file an Article 78. If that case gets concluded unfavorably and they want to appeal that case, then our program could assist with a case like that. All of our pro bono programs that I've just described, help New Yorkers by providing these free legal services in many legal areas that I just tried to go over as clearly as possible, hopefully. And we're always looking to also improve our services and reach more people. A perfect example of this is the partnership that we have with IDG, because IDG were the ones that reached out to us to sort of see how we could, they identified this need among their drivers for help with landlord-tenant issues, help with family law issues, and that wasn't something at the time that they were covering themselves. And we were, have been very happy to be able to help you out with providing these services through our legal counseling project. So as I mentioned, for the legal counseling project for family law and landlord-tenant law, there's forms directly through your IDG Legal site where you can access those services. And then if you have questions about the other legal issues that I talked about, or questions, if you have a legal issue that falls in these other programs, you can certainly contact me, ask the question, get connected to these other programs. They are all free, even the ones that we don't partner directly with IDG on. And so I'm my email in the chat. As I said, I'm the pro bono programs coordinator, so I can help connect you all to the correct program, or sometimes we get inquiries that aren't something that our programs help with, but then I can refer you to other organizations in New York that might be able to help you, with some free legal help. So yeah, thanks for having me today. I hope this information has been helpful. Yeah, there's my information on the screen as well. And that is my line, my number as well. If you call, I encourage you to leave a voicemail because we get a lot of calls, but I do check them all the time and we do call everyone back. And then if you are able to email is an especially good way to contact me with any questions about this presentation, about our programs, or if you need legal help. And if you submit a form through IDG Legal for our legal counseling project, you will be hearing from me to connect you with a lawyer.